This is the I'm Local podcast with Lincoln.
Hey guys, I want to welcome you to the I'm Local podcast. Today I'm here with Howard and David. Howard, you run this place. I mean, you're the owner. You're everything to the business. David, you're the pit master. I want to just talk to you guys a little bit. And Howard, I'll start with you. Like, how did this concept come up for Sweet Auburn Barbecue?
To correct you, Lincoln, David runs this place. I'm a partner owner of it, but definitely the founder of Sweet Auburn Barbecue. So to answer your question, I never set out to be a barbecue restaurant owner or pit master. I have always been in restaurant business. My parents have been in restaurants. They actually owned the first Chinese restaurant in Henry County. My sister and I, about 20 something years ago, opened Gezzo's here in Henry County. And at the time, my neighbor who owned CC's Pizza wanted to get out of CC's Pizza. So he bought a smoker and we became friends. Ironically, his name was David too. And anyway, that's how Sweet Auburn started. And he asked me to partner with him. I think he liked that I had some ideas and I had some background in caterings. So we partnered, and then I just everything that I learned, I just kind of learned as I went. And we primarily were a caterer and did festivals and food trucks. And then we set up in the Sweet Auburn Curb Market, and that's kind of where we got our name. The Sweet Auburn Market asked us to be a permanent shop in their market. But fast forward to COVID. I meet David, and I'll be honest, I've always had the imposter syndrome of like, what am I doing in the barbecue game? Like, I love all food, and I'm a fat kid at heart, but I don't really feel like I'm a pit master. And I've always had that struggle because I just kind of like started Sweet Auburn. I wasn't like cooking at home, but then fast forward into COVID, I meet David, and really just loved his passion and his commitment, and just connected with the guy instantly. And I'll let you.
Yeah, Dave. I mean, chime in on that. I mean,
it was love at first sight, David, or no?
Something like that.
So how would you like the influence that you have being a pit master, running this place? Like, talk a little bit about your background, how you came to be in the barbecue game, and what this means to you.
The whole lot there.
Loaded.
So, man, I got started in my backyard, just a fat kid chasing a dream, honestly. Yeah, I was working another career job, if you will, and I was chasing a passion on the side and just started dabbling with fire and smoke. And then one thing led to another. I was building a smoker and was taking food around for samples to a lot of local places and friends to just give me some opinions. And then just kept pushing with that, and over time just one thing led to another, and I left my career job and I had another business that I was running and working, and had some free time on my own. Got involved with another local restaurant that's a barbecue place, and the owner of that and I kicked it off, and we worked together for probably a year and a half or so, just doing some side projects and whatnot. And then COVID hit, and we were all kind of scrambling, how to keep up, how to deflect, problems and stuff like that. So, and
How to survive.
That's the key. Yeah.
So we all were getting creative. People were in the restaurant business were doing whatever they had to do to keep the doors open. And our paths crossed by way of a phone call I made to a local graphic artist and asked him if he knew anybody that had a food truck for sale. And immediately he did vehicle wraps and stuff like that. So that's the reason I called him. So he was friends of Howard, ironically.
Yeah,
and that's how it all started.
You guys connected. So all right, this was a match made in heaven. You guys are married at the hip. Okay, we know how it is. We know how it is. So, the influence. All right, you guys are on the cover of We Are Henry magazine. I'm looking at this, and you guys can see that. I'm looking at this, and this. Okay, we got the barbecue, but then we got the Asian influence. This is different. Oh. Talk to me, and any one of you guys can answer this. So talk to me like that infusion. Like what does that mean? Because it's different, and a lot of people haven't seen that.
Yeah, to me, it's when I met David, and the more I work with David, the more passionate I become with barbecue because David is passionate.
Yeah.
So that fire, leads to more fuel, right?
Yeah.
And for me, I'm a Southern boy. I got slanted eyes, but I'm by the grace of God, I was raised in the South. I would eat Mongolian beef one day and then Brunswick stew the next day. Right?
There you go.
So I like all food. And my parents were from Malaysia, so they were peasants, man. And I like that work. I respect the working class. But the food is like universal. You bring people around, you have fellowship, and that's across cultures. And when my parents had their restaurant, everybody knew her. Our last name is Sue.
Yeah.
Her first name was Betty. So everybody knew her as Betty Sue, and it's the most Southern name ever. And people going to her restaurant. She had a lot of energy. So it was like our restaurant was a lot of breaking bread and fellowship. And I love that. And that breaks cultures and boundaries and brings people together of all races and colors. And it's the fabric of humanity. You know what I mean? We're all people. We all have feelings and we all connect. So to me, it's allowed. Barbecue is like this rustic food, and Asian food is rustic too. You know, there's a lot of street food in Asia. And so the connectivity and then the fun, a canvas of bringing the flavors of American style slow cooking, right? Like the indirect slow smoke style of cooking barbecue is very unique to American cuisine. Otherwise, there's really not an American cuisine. It's either French, African, or Italian. It's influenced. It's influenced. But the slow smoke is very specific American. So you're bringing these two cultures, and I just love that. And it resonates with me more now that I have this opportunity to work with David and present something that seems more authentic.
Yeah, I mean, this is phenomenal for Henry County. I'm so glad that you guys are here. My wife and I came, a couple weeks ago, and we've been here, quite a few times. And every time we come, it's like, man, this is the real deal. And I think, it's not a hidden gem because you're in Atlanta, right? And however, a lot of people in Henry County, I don't know if they've caught on yet. They are catching on, but I don't know if they've caught on yet to the secret that you guys
it's on its way. Well, a lot of what we're doing too is when, the past year, we've been really trying to honestly revitalize and not reconcept, but revitalize and get more, and we call it the Asian smokehouse, right? We're trying to become more the Asian smokehouse. And so that is it's intentional, but it's also like, what do the guests want and like, and we have to balance that with sustainability, right? Like we can't pull that pork sandwich off because then all of a sudden 20% of our sales is gone.
Right.
So we got to slowly mix it up. And I think and you talk to your audience, your guests, and sometimes it's just the feeling, and you see that, hey, I think we can start pushing more the boundary, and that's a fun ride in itself.
It is. I mean, the process, right? The process of just going through it and figuring it out and making it happen. But you have the staple, and you're just going through the process. David, you have some collaborations that you've done. I know you did one with 15th Street Pizza, and you guys had this combination of sausage. And, talk to me a little bit about that, like how that all came together.
Yeah, so it's community awareness, if you will, is how it started. I'm a frequent, outside the barbecue world, pizza and Italian food is my go-to. All fat guys love pizza and cheese. That's what I had for dinner last night.
I'm trying to get like this guy.
So I'm a frequent flyer of 15th Street. Yeah. And I got to know Pat over a little time. And we're also in a kind of a decline in the economy. And it was us trying to collab on how can we help each other. Yeah. And really that's the basis of it.
It's so important.
And it was a kind of difficult to put together. It was a little difficult to put together because one barbecue pizza, you can do it. Yeah. But there's only so many ways probably. And then he was already doing a brisket style pizza of his own, which was my first suggestion. And then when he mentioned that they were already doing that, I was like, all right, so let's kind of think outside the box. And that's what we did. And I came up with, we're trying to influence with the Asian smokehouse and trying to help each other out. So why not put something out there that's like a wow factor? And that's what we did. We came up with utilizing some of their recipes and products, and then bringing ours in along with it, which was the lemongrass sausage on a Chicago style pizza. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, and that's what this is all about. It's all about collaboration, all about coming together and bringing it together. So let's talk a little bit about your menu. All right. So I'm in Henry County. This is the first time I'm passing out on the street and I see Sweet Auburn Barbecue. I'm coming in. What do I order?
Well, so sometimes I often wonder about that myself because, and it goes back to what Howard and you were just talking about, was the Asian influence into what we are. So
Yeah.
I like to say that we sometimes are the place that you didn't know you needed, if that makes sense.
I got you. Yeah.
So I would encourage you to try something that you're not used to, because it will probably capture you. So I would probably recommend the char siu spare ribs, a couple sides and some brisket egg rolls to start with. And
Okay. Brisket egg rolls. That's different.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, a nice brisket egg roll to start with an app, and then as your main meal with the char siu spare ribs, and you can get some normal sides that you're used to. That's the beauty of what we're doing, is kind of that infusion where we're not completely one way or the other. We're kind of right there in the middle.
Yeah.
And we get to have a fun play on all of it.
Yeah. You have a menu that caters to anybody.
Yeah.
It's very important that, going back to like the working class, right? We're not trying to be like elevated or unapproachable. As a matter of fact, we want this to be approachable. Like the flavors are not scary. They're not wild. They're fun plays.
Right.
And they work, you know? And so, that's our kind of MO as far as our approach for the barbecue meets Asian.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
Approachability.
What's your favorite thing on the menu?
Man, it's hard. I mean, David makes a really mean lemongrass sausage, smoked sausage, and I love that. It's got a good Southeast Asian flavor.
Yeah.
The char siu ribs are like so. I mean, he probably does them better than like most Chinese restaurants. It's got a good like sweet, savory, umami coating, and they're sticky, the perfect bite. So it's a toss up between those two for sure.
Man, you're getting me hungry right now.
I know. Why are we closed today?
I know. I mean, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do something. But guys, I want to thank you both, so much for the opportunity to talk to you. I want to ask you both, and Howard, I'll start with you. Being an entrepreneur, being in business, there may be someone that's watching this that's thinking, I want to start a business. I want to get out there and do something. What's your advice? What's your one piece of advice that you would give that individual?
There's a lot of good industries besides the restaurant business to get into.
Yeah.
There you go. That's it. Man, I think just do your due diligence, right?
Yeah.
Like, pick your lane and focus on it. Make sure you find the right niche and just attack it. And make sure it's going to fit your short-term, long-term and goals, and keep in mind the loved ones in your life, your future wife or your future children, right? Something like that. Think about it, because that is you got to have that balance to be effective in your workplace. Right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's the main thing. You just ultimately make sure I always see business and business leadership as continuous self-development.
Man, that's powerful. Yeah.
And as long as you are continuously developing yourself, you should be able to be a better person, a better leader in the workplace and in your personal life.
Man, that's powerful. Thank you for sharing that. So David, what would you say? What's your one piece of advice?
Time is of the essence. No regrets. It's going after it. It's don't wait. Don't put it off. If it's something that you're truly after, you have to go after it, because otherwise you'll never know. And then you're always wondering, what if, right?
That's right.
And that's sometimes is the difference maker if you change that mindset.
Yeah.
And it could, you could play it safe both ways.
Right.
But if you don't ever do it, you'll never know.
That's right.
And that's honestly, it's what this was born out of.
That's right. That's right. Man, I got some great nuggets from you guys. I truly appreciate the time, just spending here. This is phenomenal. Guys, if you're in Henry County and you're looking for someplace unique but also familiar, come to Sweet Auburn Barbecue. Phenomenal establishment. Food is great. You're going to love it. Thank you guys again for being here.
Thank you, Lincoln. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.